Welcome back, all the viewers. I am Dr. Shweta Sharma, working in the Department of Applied Science and Humanities, Faculty of Engineering and Technology. In the last video, I had discussed about the general aspects of the pollution, and we had introduced a common topic which is called as air pollution. And in the last video, I had also discussed about the types of the air pollutants. In this video, we are going to discuss the sources of the air pollution, as well as we will also discuss some of the common air pollutants, their sources and their effects on the plants, animals and human beings. So if we talk about the sources of the air pollution, then the primary source of air pollution is the burning of fossil fuels. The fossil fuels were formed in prehistoric times, and they are now being widely used in the industries, in the automobiles, for running the equipments, industrial processes and automobiles. When they are burned, they produce various gaseous pollutants that can contain carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides and various hydrocarbons. So the burning of fossil fuel is a very big source of air pollution. These are responsible for approximately 60 to 80% of the total air pollution which is being emitted into our atmosphere. And the next source of the air pollutions are the industries. Industries like thermal power plant, which is based on the burning of the coal, the petroleum refineries, the industries that manufacture paper, that manufacture leather, textile, all these emit huge amount of gaseous and particulate pollutants into the atmosphere. In addition to these industries, the industries like cement producing industries and grinding industries, sawmills, they also produce large amount of particulate matter into the atmosphere. So in the next section, I am going to describe about these particular air pollutants. So the first air pollutant is the carbon monoxide. It is a colorless and odorless gas, and it is a very poisonous gas. It is generally emitted when the fuel undergoes incomplete combustion. The carbon monoxide has a peculiar property that when it is inhaled by human beings, it combines with the hemoglobin, which works as the carrier of the oxygen. When it combines with the hemoglobin, the bond between the hemoglobin and the carbon monoxide is very permanent, and it reduces the capacity of oxygen that is being carried by the hemoglobin, and therefore the organs that require oxygen are starved of the oxygen, and therefore a situation arises which is called as hypoxia or oxygen starvation. If the person who is inhaling carbon monoxide is not given oxygen at proper time, then the person would die of hypoxia. In addition, carbon monoxide also interferes with the growth and development and various physiological properties of the plants also. The next air pollutant is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is basically emitted by the burning of the fossil fuels in industries or also in the automobiles. It is also produced in huge quantities on the burning of the biomass. Carbon dioxide is a gas which is naturally present in our atmosphere, but its concentration below 280 or 270 ppm is acceptable. But if its concentration rises above 270 or 280 ppm, then it can, or it is in fact, creating health hazards. So the peculiar property of carbon dioxide is that it is a greenhouse gas, and it has the property to absorb outgoing long wavelength terrestrial radiation. And if any gas has the capability of absorbing this long wavelength terrestrial radiation, then it can increase the temperature of our atmosphere, and because of this, the temperature of our atmosphere increases and it makes our environment warm. In the recent days or in the recent times, the concentration of carbon dioxide is increasing. In the pre-industrial time, it was approximately 270 ppm, but now its concentration has increased to about 470 ppm. And this incremental addition of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere has resulted in global warming, which is due to the activity of carbon dioxide as greenhouse gas. Because of this global warming and climate change, there has arisen many environmental conditions like some areas receive intense amount of sunlight, and if these gases are present in the areas which is receiving intense sunlight, then these gases will absorb more solar radiation and make the areas more warmer in comparison to the pre-industrial time, which is creating a situation which is called as climate change. And because of the climate change, some areas are getting drier and drought is a frequent phenomena in these areas, while some areas are getting wetter, and they are facing frequent problems of flood. In addition, the change in the climate or global warming is also causing sea level rise, and because of the sea level rise, the coastal areas are getting inundated, and in future if the sea level rise continues at this pace, then most of the coastal areas will be inundated permanently, and the islands will also be inundated, and the person or the vegetation biodiversity which is present on these areas will be disturbed. In addition to carbon dioxide, the next gas or the next air pollutant which is very important is the oxides of nitrogen and the oxides of sulfur. The oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur are generally emitted during the burning of the coal, or they are produced largely from the automobiles or the exhausts of the automobiles. These two gases are very reactive, and as we know that in our environment water is present either in the form of humidity or during the process of the evaporation, and if the oxides of nitrogen and the oxides of sulfur react with the water which is present in our atmosphere, then they form two acids which are called as sulfuric acid and nitric acid. And because of the formation of these two acids, the pH of the water which is present in the atmosphere increases, and a situation arises which is called as acid rain. So when we can call that the rain is acidic or the acid rain has occurred? So if we talk about rain, then the pH of the normal rainwater is approximately 6.5, because in the atmosphere carbon dioxide is also present, and this carbon dioxide can react with water and it can form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is a weak acid, and therefore the due to the presence of carbonic acid, the pH of our normal rainfall is approximately 6.5, and because of this the nutrients which are locked up in the minerals of the soil are released, and the plants can easily take up these nutrients from the soil. But if the oxides of nitrogen and oxides of sulfur are also present along with this carbon dioxide, then they can also react with the water which is present in the rain and can form sulfuric acid. And due to this sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and due to this the pH of the rainfall becomes less than 5.5, and this situation is called as acid rain. The acid rain is a very dangerous phenomena because it corrodes the surface of the metal, the stone, the marble, textile, paper, in whichever it falls, and it causes corrosion. It can destroy all these metals, and in addition it is very injurious to the health of the human beings, animals, because it can cause irritation of the skin, it can cause irritation of the eyes, it can also cause various allergies, and therefore the phenomena of acid rain needs environmental concern. In addition, the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen can also cause chlorosis and necrosis in the plants, and they can also cause various physiological and metabolic changes in the animals also. They can also irritate the lungs of our body. So this is all for this video. In the next video we will be discussing more air pollutants in detail. Thank you for watching this video.